always have something that you can diversify yourself in, that the job does not consume you. Have a hobby? I like to hunt, I like to fish. Some people involve themselves heavily in their church. That's great. My dad was a Baptist preacher. I was in church, and every church that opened its doors on Sunday, Saturday night, Wednesday night prayer meeting, and Thursday Bible class. I was churched out, but oh my God. My mama believed, you know, we couldn't dance. I mean, I love to dance. I can't dance, but I love to dance. And my mama, you know, she said, "You want to go dance, son?" I said, "Yeah, Mama, I'd really like to go dance." She said, "Well, you go." She said, "If you come home, you have conviction, don't do it. If you don't, have a good time." So now that was pretty, I thought, that's pretty good. You know, that's pretty good. It's coming from a woman who don't know nothing right now. And years later, my Uncle Johnny told me about, you know, he said, "Boy, you kids were raised so strict, you couldn't dance, you couldn't say any cuss words, you know." And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Man," and I told him the story about going to dance, and he just started laughing at me. Just started laughing at me. He said, "Son," he said, "your mama could cut a rug like nobody ever." I said, "Oh, not my mama." He said, "Yes, your mama." So, anyway. I know we're going to have to wrap it up.
I got the tough question of the night, and I'm going to ask us to go ahead and stop unless there's an important question after this. And it's just for my brain, because my brain looks at the Constitution a certain way, and maybe it's just as much for you guys to ask you guys what I'm crazy. Do you think that the founding fathers, when they wrote the Second Amendment, were thinking that you ladies couldn't put a pistol in your purse and carry it around to protect yourself? Do you think that that's what they were thinking? No. Okay. Well, how do you feel about that? You know what I'm asking?
Hey, I have no problem.
Well,
I have no problem with a law-abiding citizen, a woman carrying a gun.
or a guy,
Or a guy. Ready? Go.
but we have to go through all these hoops to get there.
Yes. Yes. And there's where we might differ a little bit. I do believe that there should be some checks and balances on certain things. I do. Even though I'm a big Second Amendment person. Now here's the other thing. Missouri's right to carry. Yes. The concealed carry takes it a little step further.
So
You know, with these
open
checks.
carry in Missouri?
Sure.
Okay.
We've had open carry for years.
Carry.
Yeah. And you can carry that gun in your car, concealed, in your glove compartment, or openly. It's not a problem in Missouri. Don't go to Illinois. We need to go over and Lincoln up too.
When we lived in Hillsborough, when I drive down to see the parents by myself, I asked the sheriff up there if I could take a gun along with me, because my husband said, "Take a gun with you." And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Put the gun in the glove compartment, the bullets in the trunk, and you'll be fine."
Let's see.
You can hit it with it. You can hit it with it. An unloaded gun is not useless.
Yeah, that's what I.
No, you can carry a gun. You can carry a gun loaded on your desk, plain view.
Well, that's what I.
And you know, yeah, 911 will probably be going off if you got it strapped on your hip, and walk down the street. But, you know,
If you are legal.
yeah.
But your women have a different advantage over you, because you just put it in your purse, you just knock them upside the head with your purse.
The way I understood the law is if you have it in your vehicle, it has to be concealed. Now, when I moved back here from Idaho, I was kind of confused about a lot of things because previously it was that you had to have it in open sight, but as I read the law, it has to be under a newspaper, in the glove box, in a console.
You know, okay, it goes back to interpretation a lot of times. Now, let's face it, there are two types of law enforcement. There's Andy Griffin, and there's Barney Fife. Andy Griffin was the intent of the law, the spirit of the law. Most of your sheriffs and most of their departments are the intent of the law, spirit of the law. Every now and then there's Barney Five, which is the letter of the law, and they give you problems. They give you grief. Oh, section, says you gotta have that plate. Nope, here's your ticket. bad circumstance, traveling on a peaceful journey, only laying on the dash. Big deal. You know, most of your troopers, not gonna say a word to you. If you're respectful to them and you tell them, you know, yes, sir, I had it up there because I don't have concealed carry, but rather than hiding it, I would rather that you see it and it be in plain view, and they'll say, got you, brother, thank you, appreciate it. Because, you know, if they're stopping your car and you're not concealed carry, endorsed on your license, you know, when they're pulling it over, they already know if you are. You know, just like motorcycle qualified, concealed carry.
I have to teach a course, so I always tell them,
Yeah.
that's what it says, it has to be concealed.
It does, but most police officers are not gonna give you grief over it. You go to St. Louis, you go to Illinois, look, used to, if you were out in the county or in Jackson, and that gun was in plain view, my guys wouldn't give you a bit of grief, Jackson wouldn't give you a bit of grief, come to Cape, he's gonna get arrested. Because that's just the way it was, they had an ordinance, and of course, when we were able to get concealed carry, that changed all of that. So, anyway. But I don't have an issue with there being some checks and balances on people. Let's face it, most of the time, your sheriff has had people with serious issues in and out of their jail. Nick's check does not ever catch that. It doesn't. If they don't have a criminal history of any kind, they're gonna get a gun, but you know what, most times they're gonna get a gun anyway. So, I better wrap it up. I
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
very much.
Thank you.